We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
250 million people are not garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that. How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. And Joe Biden should be ashamed of himself if he knows what he's even doing. And she should be ashamed because she shouldn't let him do it. She's the vice president, but I assume she's acting as the president. She should never have let that happen. I love Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico loves me. I don't know anything about a comedian. I love Puerto Rico. Nobody's done more for Puerto Rico than me. I took care of them when they had the big hurricanes, and nobody gets along better with Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rican people than me. They love me and I love them. I don't know anything about the comedian. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him. I heard he made a statement, but it was just a statement that he made. He's a comedian. What can I tell you? I know nothing about him. I don't know why he's there. You put comedians up, and I guess he went on earlier in the show. I don't know who he is. Thank you, press. 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 Let's go.
It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth?
Okay, question? Yeah, go ahead. Sure. She's shocked that I picked her.
No.
She's like in a state of shock.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sir, can
Quiet,
you state,
quiet.
Mr. President-elect,
Go ahead.
Can you state
She's
categorically,
asking a question. Don't
Mr.
be rude.
President-elect, can you give us a question?
Don't be
You're
rude.
attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you
No, I'm
give
not
us a
going to give you a
question?
question. I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically?
Fake news. CNN. Fake. Whoops, the camera just went off. Okay, you can come back. I won't say. I promise I won't say anything more about you.
We're discussing the role disinformation and misinformation have in the 2024 election and the organizations working to fight it, like the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights. Joining us now is its president and CEO, Maya Wiley. Maya, thank you so much for joining us. And what issues are we seeing the most disinformation or misinformation about online?
Well, look, we're seeing a ton of disinformation, meaning intentionally infecting, generating an infection point, a virus in our thinking about how our elections are going to go, meaning who's voting and whether they have a right to vote. And this is what we know. Voters are going to decide who leads us in this next election. But there are a lot of actors from foreign governments to extremist groups that are simply not telling the truth about who is actually showing up to vote and who will decide this, which is U.S. citizens. And that
Whenever I go across the country and people find out I'm from Minnesota, they're like, ugh.
Almighty hunter, 'twill be quite a task. How will you do it? Might I inquire to ask?
Vice presidential nominee Tim Walz doesn't exactly exude alpha male energy, and his weekend hunting trip hasn't helped.
No, Walz looked more like Elmer Fudd than a real shooter, which, let's be honest, is probably a good thing based on this vision.
Be very quiet. I'm hunting.
Look, the NRA, I was an NRA guy for a long time. They used to teach gun safety. I'm of an age where my shotgun was in my car so I could pheasant hunt after football practice. That's not where we live today.
That was beautiful.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
Quite theory, and it never fits quite right. Never fits quite right. Just not quite right. How do you give it back?
Well, what do you know? No more bullets.
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap because it has a kind of their patented thing, a kickoff.
No, not that gun. Use the other gun. The other gun, stupid.
So, because it was right early, the first opener, and I'm like, oh, I want to shoot.
I'm an elk. Shoot me. Go on. It's elk season. I'm a fiddler crab. Why don't you shoot me? It's fiddler crab season.
The number one where the most firearm deaths happen in Minnesota are rural suicides. And we have an epidemic of children getting guns and shooting themselves.
I think I'll try my trusty old shotgun. Ready? Aim. Fire.
Every vice president joke ever made was about to be made right there. So you know it.
I will do it with my spear and magic helmet.
Your spear and magic helmet?
Spear and magic helmet.
Magic helmet?
Magic helmet.
Magic helmet.
Yes.
Well, didn't the California governor, Mr. Newsom, sign into law that you don't need to show voter ID? Is that misinformation? I don't know, but we already know who he is, right? Let's just listen a little bit more.
And that's been really dangerous because, as you've been noting in the coverage of this, really the issue is we have a lot of folks that want Americans not to trust and believe in our system. And that's really devastating, but it is social media platforms that have had every ability to reduce exactly this kind of infection, exactly this kind of poison that's being injected directly into our conversations about what our elections are and who we want to choose to lead us. And that is unfortunate because it is putting people in danger, particularly immigrants, who, if they're citizens, have every right to vote. And showing up the polls just because you speak a foreign language does not mean you should be subject to anyone threatening you.
So who is this woman, Maya Wiley? Because she's saying a lot of things here, and we are injecting the truth. And that's why I always say don't trust anyone, don't even trust me, always research for yourself. So let's just inject a little bit of truth, shall we? Right. Maya herself, or Miss Wiley, she worked for the Open Society. All right, George Soros's company. Her father was a civil rights leader, a chemist. Right. And he also worked at Berkeley University. Well, Maya's married to a Harlan Mandel, the CEO of MDIF. Well, let's just go take a look. She's written books as well, and, of course, she's wearing a mask there in those pictures. The MDIF, where her husband works for, the company he works for, formerly known as MDLF, right? According to the website, George Soros provided his initial $500,000 funding for that company in 1995. Interesting. So George Soros is all around this woman. But all I can say is, look, I don't trust you, Maya. I don't trust you one bit. But we already understand that. We research, we don't just trust. But we don't trust the news anyway. It's nothing but lies coming out of there, right? Seriously. And of course, we don't trust the system. Sure, you can go vote if that's what you feel you would really like to do. I'm not going to stand in front of anyone going to vote. But is it really going to do anything? No, I don't think so, because they control both sides. Even Trump was a Democrat his entire life. Right. But if you'd want to pick from the one or the other, the blue party or the red party, go right ahead. I don't need to get a strike over having this video or even possibly being arrested. All I can tell you is research, do not trust anyone or anything. Look at Trump's tower symbolism on the outside as well as on the inside, all the things that are there. Look at all his honors, his awards. Look, he's got more than most presidents I know. It's nothing but a big show, in my opinion. And I think most of you all agree here. We know they're all club members. And we all understand they belong to all kinds of clubs. The majority of them, it's Rotary or Lions, but it could be anything from Kiwanis to Elks, and they're all affiliated to Freemasonry. Look, I can't tell you enough how they all are one behind closed doors. It's like how they say it. It's a Hegelian dialectic. It's a one bird with two wings, and that's exactly what you're seeing. And America is a corporation, and a corporation has to have a boss. It has to have, board members. And just imagine who the board members are. I'm just saying. But we understand here. Share your thoughts. I don't need to listen to more of her gibberish. It's stressful watching all the videos that are going on right now with some I laugh at, of Kamala, which means horrible in Finnish. And some of them I'm trying to watch of Trump, but I laugh and I get frustrated and I stop watching. Honestly, I don't want to even share them because we all understand the truth. Sometimes I'll share pictures as often as I can. Otherwise, just try and hang in there. All I can say is trust only in God and in the Word of God. And pray. Pray to keep the joy and to get through whatever this time we're in. And we know that He has promised to be with us, and we know we can trust in His promises. And that's the only one I can trust in. All right, God bless you guys. Take care. Let's have a great week and the rest of the week. And have a great day, guys. Until next time.